hanging out just playing on Okishibis. Today, this isn't a in the life of Okishibis video, but we're gonna go pick up a part from my vehicle from Subaru. We're gonna take this JDM WRX. It's a 2000 model WRX. It's got some cool JDM parts on it, and it has this Cusco suspension on it, super bouncy. I didn't tell Emmy about it yet, but yeah, super bouncy. And so for my car, we're working on the Forester STI today, and what we're going to be replacing is the master cylinder for the clutch master cylinder. Maybe you've experienced it where your clutch just feels unhealthy, feels super hard to drive. Maybe you're doubting your skills, but it's not you, it's the master cylinder. How we found this out was a customer who has a GRB, so like the 08 hatchback STIs. He replaced his master cylinder recently, and I just so happened to have the same style master cylinder because I have the rotated turbo. And so the GRB master cylinders, they provide a lot more room for the turbo. They don't have any lines running out the front of it. And so he was having an issue with pedal position changing as you drive, which could be air. So I'd say bleed your system first before you go through all the heartache of trying to change your master cylinder. But one of the telltales, so I was having an issue with my pedal position changing. When I first started driving, it would be really close to the floor. Then as I continued to drive and things got warmed up, or however many times I pushed the pedal, then I would have the pedal come up really high, and it would become like an on-off switch. And I purposely bought a twin plate clutch that had dampening so that I wouldn't have to worry about the on-off switch type clutch. And so it became an on-off switch. He also experienced the same exact thing with his being an on-off switch. And so we ordered a master cylinder from Subaru. We're gonna go pick it up and we're gonna install it. While we're driving, we're going to take the time to answer a few questions from some of our previous videos. So one of the videos that Kevin recently did was diagnosing an ABCS solenoid, and one of the comments for that video was about version 10s. It's from a guy in Canada. He claims that there's not too much information there on the version 10 and on the newer Subarus. So one of his questions was, are we going to do more videos on the version 10? Yes, we actually own a GVB, which is the sedan version of the GRB, the version 10 STI. So because of that, we've already recorded quite a bit of material, just haven't edited it yet and posted it, so stay tuned for it. If you haven't, like and subscribe with that bell notification so that you can get the notifications when we post a video. And then secondly, he just wanted to know a little bit more information about the version 10. Really, if you just ask specifically, we have an Instagram and YouTube and Facebook, and we have an email address, we have a website, we have merch on that website too. Anyways, if you wanted to comment or ask a specific question, yeah, it'd be easy to answer. But just generally, he asked about transmissions and diffs and stuff. And so the version 10 STI still shares the 3.9 final drive as the other STIs, the Blob-Eye, Hawkeye, Bug-Eye STIs in Japan. The only difference between the 6-speed transmission really is that the speed sensor is now not a physical location in the transmission. It's actually blocked off, and it's inside of the speedometer gets its signal from the ABS. So that's really the only big difference in the transmission and the diff. The GRB axles are a little thicker, so the version 10 stuff's a little thicker, so we do run them in higher horsepower cars out here in Japan. My Forester continued to break them though, so we stopped wasting them and we got the higher horsepower axles. We have a video coming out about the Tomioka axles, should you buy them. Anyways, yeah, so for his answer to his question is really easy. Yeah, we're gonna make more videos, and then if you have any specific questions, because we could just be rattling off answers, but if you have a specific question we can answer, yeah, let us know. We'll answer it. So now that we're back at the shop, this is the one we're changing out the master cylinder on. So you can kind of see that because it's a rotated turbo setup, the downpipe goes right in front of the master cylinder. That's why we chose to use the GRB one, because the ones on like the GC8s or even the stock one of this, it has a line that runs out the front and would be right into the downpipe. So yeah, it's just one line, really easy. So two 12 mil nuts, one line right here, and then on the inside you have the clip that connects it to the pedal. It's a clip that comes out, and then one little pin, if you will. So yeah, I'll take this out and then I'll install the other one. But again, just to reiterate, the issue with this master cylinder is that when you first start driving the car, it feels great, but the pedal's low. And then as you drive it, the pedal release point, the clutch release point rises, and it becomes an on-off switch. Really difficult to drive, even if, no matter what the clutch you have, no matter what clutch you have, it becomes an on-off switch. And that's what we're experiencing. Yours may be a little different, but this is what we're experiencing. Everything's pointing us to the master cylinder, so we'll swap it out and then let you know. Right here. So this pin that's going through the pedal is what's holding the master cylinder to the pedal. And so we'll pull this pin out on this side over here. There's a pin that's got to be pulled out. It looks like a little C or an R. And then this pin will come out. It'll release the master cylinder from the pedal. Then it's the two 12 mil nuts and the brake or the line, the hydro line, and then it'll come right out. So what I'll use is needle nose to pull the pin, and then potentially I'll use this too, if need be. But a pair of needle nose will do it for you. So this is what the pin looks like. And this is a clip. I keep calling it a pin, but it's a clip that slides through a hole on the pin that holds the pedal and the master cylinder together. Don't lose it. Goes in there. The hole. Yeah. So that. Okay, two nuts are off. Yeah. So now it's just a mess. You gotta make a mess. This line holds fluid, so I'm gonna stuff some rags down there so it doesn't just drain on my downpipe. Got some of this. So guys, this is pretty interesting here. So this is what it looks like coming out of the box brand new. And if you've ever tried to adjust your clutch, this adjustment is super important. And we always try to have like half as many threads that's showing here come through this bracket. So this is not adjusted to fit into the box. There's quite a bit of room in the front and back inside the box. So this is how it's adjusted from the factory. So I'm assuming this is what they want the adjustment to be when installed in the car. So I'm going to try this out just like it is here, and then see how it feels. Okay, so this portion is pretty mindokusai. It's a little annoying. It can be stupid if you're by yourself. So you have to slide it through, but at the same time, when you're sliding it through, it needs to go onto the pedal. Sometimes it'll miss the pedal like this, and you'll have it all bolted in and happy and stuff, and then you got to take it all back out. So it's best to do it with 2 people, or have it kind of sitting in there and then pull it in onto the pedal. You'll figure it out. You can do it. Emmy, can I have you do it?
Sure.
I want you to just push it onto the bolts when I say push it onto the bolts. God bless you. Okay, can you push it onto the bolts? This. Nice. So, okay, I just figured out right this moment in this, right now, tadaima, that if you leave the bolts loose to 12 mil nuts, it'll give you a little bit of flex so that you can start the brake line or the hydraulic line to the reservoir before tightening it all down. You always want to start it by hand too, because if you cross thread it, shame on you. Shame on you. Yeah, and then reverse order, yeah. Tighten the hydraulic line. Well, tighten the 12 mil nuts so that you have enough support from the nuts to tighten the 10 mil hydraulic line.
That one right there is the only one that doesn't fit if it's for a.
So for bleeding the system, there's only one line going onto this master cylinder. It's common practice to bench bleed master cylinders before installing. And so what I'm going to do is fill it full of fluid, crack the bleeder open, and let it gravity bleed. As I was talking, it's already starting to drip from the bleeder. I can show you right here. So I literally just filled it with fluid and cracked that open, the bleeder open, and it's already dripping now, right? So I know that there's fluid and air should have been pushed out up until that bleeder. I will now do the pump method. So bleeding a clutch, guys, you gotta be patient. You'll pump this thing 1,000,000 times before you find a good pressure. It'll just stay stuck to the ground. It's not like brakes where you can bleed the system fairly easily. You got to pump and pump because you have that slave cylinder that's got to pump up, right? All the fluid's got to go through the slave cylinder to get that pressure that you want to be able to push the air out. So yeah, we're just going to pump it up, as they say. Air shouldn't be in the system because air rises, right? So I bench bled it.
So I push it now?
Yeah, you can pump it.
Hold on. You would have done that. Where you're like pushing it in and out. Yeah, it's not.
Let me get the, while you're pumping, get the hose.
Yeah, it's not changing.
It's not changing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just kind of hold it in. Now I'll crack it open once.
Holding.
Oh yeah. yeah, I think that feels pretty good. So I want to take it for a test drive because if you remember at the beginning it starts off kind of low. It was low, but those threads I would recommend maybe 2 or 3 threads turning it in so it's not so many threads coming through the actual U bracket deal. So it looked like that, right? So if you screw it in a couple threads and then install, I feel like that'd be a pretty good recommendation because with it being that many threads through the bracket, it was right on the floor. And if you like that, that's cool. But just think about if you slip off that clutch, you got some rainy shoes on, and you slip off that clutch and then you slam into the person in front of you or whatever. So yeah, it's feeling really good right now. I adjusted it so it's like a couple inches off of the release. I think that feels pretty good. I like that. So yeah, we'll take it for a drive. See if it's fixed. Yeah, so before it was like really, like it would jump pretty aggressively. You couldn't slip it, and like I said, I have the twin plate with dampening so that it's not an on-off switch. So it feels good again. But let's see what happens when we do some pulls and stuff. See if it can maintain that good feel. Something too, one of the other characteristics of what the clutch was doing previously was that it would spring back. It had like a really aggressive spring back. It's not doing that anymore. Yeah, it feels pretty good, huh?
You flash my flag in front of me right now.
Because even like right now, I'm able to slip the clutch. Before it was such an on-off switch that you couldn't slip it. And slipping the clutch is important because that's how you want to be able to take off smoothly and make it. You don't want to drive like it. That's like the goal though. If you're driving a manual transmission, you make it as smooth as possible for the passenger so they're not, every time you shift, they're not going like this. You want to make it smooth. And it wasn't possible with the master cylinder the way it was. So good. So thanks for watching this video. It's like almost like a day in the life. We did some driving around. We went to Subaru in Naha or in Urasoe and got the part. I recommend this clutch master cylinder with all the lines because it's just such a simple install. It's a lot less junk in your engine bay, a lot less lines, clutter. It looks good. It's a good clean install, and especially for those who are going for like showroom style engine bays with a rotated setup, it just allows more room. It just looks better. And so if you're having issues with your clutch being an on-off switch or changing locations of its release points while driving, I think your master cylinder is the issue. It could be your clutch too. We've seen clutches be bad, but knowing this clutch was good, and maybe you know your clutch is good, yeah, it could be your master cylinder. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, of course, feel free to comment and ask your question. And yeah, check out our website, okisubies.com. We have merchandise on there and just a lot of cool stuff. You can look at our inventory if you're in a different country. We have different companies that we can ship through. So thanks for watching. Woo!